A few weeks ago, I was sitting at home chilling, looking for something to do, until I saw a bunch of ads about the new Halloween film that's coming out, which is already in theaters right now. So I decided to look at the original Halloween movie to understand what the buzz was about. And to my knowledge, the only films I've seen were Halloween H2O and Resurrection, to which I heard from the community that Resurrection was a pile of dog. So anyways, for this video I want to talk about the OG film and why I find it so intriguing. So let's dive in. It's Halloween night and we get his perspective from a 6-year-old Michael Myers who is sneaking in through the back of his own house. While surprise surprise, we get a glimpse of his sister getting all lovey-dovey with her man when she's supposed to be babysitting her own brother. They go upstairs to have sex, just for the boyfriend to come back down 2 minutes later just to leave, just enough time for Michael to get a knife, put on a clown mask, and stabbing her sister to death. The man walks downstairs like a G, waiting for his parents to come on home to see him standing there holding the bloody knife as the camera pans away. I kinda wonder how people felt back in 1978 that the killer was a kid and not an adult. Y'all tell me. We move on 15 years later with Dr. Loomis, who was on his way to the sanitarium with his colleague Marion to pick up Michael so they can transfer him to another area on a freaking rainy night. So when they get there, they see a lot of patients roaming out and about. While Loomis gets outside to investigate, Michael sneaks up on top of the car, forcing Marion to get out, while Michael steals it and heads on to Haddonfield like it's Grand Theft Auto. The question is, how the hell did this man learn how to drive after spending 15 years in a sanitarium from the time he was 6?
Sam, Haddonfield is 150 miles away from here. Now, for God's sakes, he can't drive a car. He was doing very well last night. Maybe someone around here gave him lessons.
That's what I'm thinking. Not only did Michael steal their car, he killed a man, took his outfit, went to another store, stole knives, rope, and a mask. Now it's Halloween day. Lori is on her way to drop some keys off by the Myers house for her dad that we only see once throughout the entire movie. After she drops the keys under the mat, it caught the attention of Michael, who stalks her as she's going about her day. And throughout her entire day of school and walking home with her friends Annie and Linda, she noticed that Michael was following her, but her friends are so oblivious about her concerns, and you'll see what's about to happen to them in a bit. Meanwhile, while Loomis is on his investigation looking for Michael's whereabouts, he discovers that he took his sister's tombstone from her grave for whatever reason we're about to find out. He later arrives to speak to Sheriff Lay, who is Andy's dad, and we cut into Halloween night. They arrive at Myers' house and discover a dead dog and no other clues. And while they have a moment, Loomis does tell the sheriff about his history beating Michael Myers.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply
The sheriff leaves to patrol the streets and Loomis stays behind to look for Michael. Later that night, while Lori is babysitting Tommy Doyle and Annie is babysitting Lindsay Wallace from across the street, they don't know that Michael has already followed them, and oh, it's about to get juicy. Michael stalks on killing Annie first, but he is so kind and giving her enough time to do what she needs to do before killing her. So he stalks her from the patio, strangling their dog, stalking her from the laundry room, back to the patio door again, while it's open. She does take Lindsay to Doyle's house to spend the night with Lori and Tommy so she could pick up her boyfriend. When she got into her car, Michael strangled her and slit her throat. I'm not gonna lie, I felt sad watching her die like that. Moments after her death, Linda and her boyfriend Bob arrives at the Wallace place so they can just bone, while Michael again is giving them enough time to finish boning before killing them. He's such a polite killer. After they finish boning, Bob goes downstairs to get Lindsay a beer and utter the words you should never say in a horror film.
I'll be right back.
Roll the clip. After killing Bone and Bob, Michael goes upstairs in the ghost outfit to tease Linda, who thinks it's Bob, just to annoy her to the point that she calls Lori as Michael strangles her with the telephone cord. Meanwhile, Loomis finds his stolen car and he starts roaming through the streets. After she puts Tommy and Lindsay to bed, Lori goes over to the Wallace place and finds 3 corpses of her dead friends in the bedroom. Annie's laying on the bed with the tombstone behind her, Bob is hanging upside down from a closet, and Linda hanging from wherever the hell this thing is. The question is, how the hell did this thing open on its own? She leaves the room after seeing her dead friends just for Michael to sneak up behind her as she falls downstairs after being cut. She finally runs back to the Doyle's house so she can fend off Michael Myers long enough for the kids to escape. And when she thinks she got the best of him, he just keeps getting back up to choke her, just enough time for Loomis to come on by and shoot Michael off the balcony. When he checks the body to see if he's there, he's gone, which is the end of Halloween. Here's what I liked and find interesting about the movie. What I liked the fact that it's a simple film that leaves you with a lot of questions on why Michael Myers does what he does. You really don't know why, cause evil is just simply evil. If it's two things I really appreciate about Halloween, it's how crafty Michael is and the way he stalks his victims that builds up to the kills. It's like he has a hard-on to kill for no reason. Another thing that stands out about Michael is his iconic mask. I mean, it's emotionless and even scary in darkness. I didn't know this until doing some research that the mask is actually a Captain Kirk mask I got from a costume store in Hollywood. All they really did to it was paint the face white, widen the eye holes, and do little things with the hair. That really adds on to that creepy element. One of the things I like about the movie was how it was shot. I mean, you can tell it was very low budget by the looks of it, and it felt very real as if you was there. Like, imagine a time where there were no cell phones, you're home alone, the landline is cut, and electricity went out that very night. You was pretty much on your own, and that's eerie for an eerie time. And the last thing about this film I like is how authentic the characters were. I don't know about most people, when you watch these characters interact with each other with plans of what they're going to do and so on, you really want them to survive. Well, except Linda, because she says totally way too much.
Totally.
And I can totally say that that's totally annoying. What I find interesting. One of the things I do find interesting about his film production, that it was filmed in 4 weeks on a tight budget of $300,000, which was pretty low back in the late 70s. Here's a fun fact. Donald Pleasance, the guy who played Loomis, he got paid $20,000. Jamie Lee Curtis, she got paid $8,000. And the guy who played the Shape, aka Michael Myers, he got paid $25 a day.
That's some old bullshit.
Another fact, the movie was never shot in Illinois. In fact, it was shot in South Pasadena and other places in California. This was Jamie Lee Curtis' first movie debut, but she wasn't the first choice. John Carpenter, the director, originally wanted Annie Lockhart for the part of Laurie Strode, but she was already committed to other projects. It wasn't until Deborah Hill, the producer, mentioned the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis is actually the daughter of Janet Leigh, that woman who was known for the shower scene death in Psycho. Knowing this information, John Carpenter decided to cast Jamie Lee Curtis in order to build good publicity. And one more fact is that John Carpenter himself did the entire soundtrack, which is pretty darn cool because he came up with it in 3 days. And everyone to this day knows what the Halloween theme song sounds like. But if there's one song I do like from the movie, it's The Shape Stalks. If I had to be honest, the reason why I love this song so much is the simple fact that I've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight just last month. Michael, chill! Listen! I'm just
a baby.
I'm just a virgin! Leave me alone!
Please don't. I'm a virgin.
Do not punish me.
Let's nitpick. Okay, so I don't like how oblivious some of these characters are. Like if I was walking home and I see that guy with the mask standing by the bushes, I would call the police. If I was walking home and I see that same guy driving right past us when we can clearly see him, I would call the police. If I was driving someplace and another car was tailgating me and my friend, I'm heading to the police station. Like, how do you guys not be aware of your surroundings? Like, come on. I'm just saying, not being fully aware of their situation is the reason why some of these characters got dealt with. But to be fair, I'm only being silly and nitpicking. I mean, who knows? Being around from that time period on Halloween Day, living in that neighborhood, I probably would have felt safe too if I was oblivious. I mean, you gotta laugh at the tropes in these classic horror movies sometimes. My final verdict, I'm going to give this movie 4 popcorns out of 5. I can totally see why the original is the best for the way it was built and its ambiguous ending, until they made a lot more sequels and did a lot of retcons. I was also surprised that the body count was really low. Like the way the characters were killed one by one, it wasn't as graphic like the other slashers films after it. Anyways, before we close this video out, I want to give a special shout out to Triple Shot Media. If you guys enjoy my reviews and want to hear a guy from New Jersey express his opinion on how he feels about video games and movies, I say check out his channel. I also leave a link to a video he did about Friday the 13th Part 1. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this review, want me to do more reviews just like this one, just let me know in the comment section below. I mean, I'm open to feedback, criticism, anything to help me improve this channel. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, just do me a favor hitting the like button. If you want to see more content just like this one, just do yourself a favor hitting the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.